Let me know if you can relate to this. You've been practicing the piano and really putting in the time to get better, but you just don't seem to be improving. You still don't feel creatively free on the keyboard, and your playing just doesn't sound musical. And you get frustrated, right? Because you feel like what you have been practicing just isn't getting you results. And so you go on YouTube seeking that one video or that one channel that's actually going to help your playing get to the next level, but you just don't find it because all of the stuff online, it's either overwhelming because it's too much, too many things to practice, or it just annoys you because it's the same old tricks and gimmicks that don't actually get your playing anywhere. Trust me, I've been there and it's really frustrating. It's almost like trying to figure out some kind of puzzle, right? Being a self-taught pianist in today's age is both very accessible and very possible, but also very tricky and challenging. We have the internet, and the internet grants us access to literally all of the information that we could ever need. And on YouTube, there are hundreds of piano teachers teaching thousands of lessons on how to get better at the piano and the keyboard. But that's also the problem, right? There's too much information out there, and it's not structured and it's not organized in a systematic way to help you improve your playing. And so what is the solution to this problem? You need a path to follow. You need a structured and organized system of learning and practicing the piano that has been curated by someone who has walked the path that you wish to walk. You need professional feedback and guidance on your playing from someone who can look and hear your playing and who can know exactly where you're going wrong and where your weaknesses are, and who can provide you with the right exercises and the right things to practice so that you can actually make improvements in your playing. So Unlock the Keyboard is my method and my instruction, and I've essentially taken the past 10 years of my music journey learning and practicing the piano and the keyboard and really trying to figure this out, and I've turned it into a cohesive system of thinking about and approaching the piano and the keyboard. I literally struggled for years trying to figure this stuff out. I was really seeking the best lessons on YouTube and really trying to figure out how to get better on the piano and the keyboard. I've done this the hard way, and I've even gone to university to study a bachelor's degree majoring in contemporary keyboard performance. And so I've taken all of these things from the past 10 years and I've packaged it up into a 6-step process to help you unlock the keyboard and help you unlock your creative potential. And we can cover this 6-step process over the course of a 12-week program if that's what you were interested in. I'm still just a stranger on the internet, so I don't expect you to trust me yet. I want to earn your trust, which is why I actually offer the first 2 30-minute sessions completely for free, just to see whether or not we're compatible and whether or not you actually resonate with my style of teaching. Because what's really important is that you actually find the teacher or the mentor who you resonate with and aim to get lessons from them. This is really important because it's not always about the information that we receive, but what's equally important is how we receive that information, and having the right teacher or the mentor who you connect with and who you resonate with, that is how you're going to make massive progress in your playing. Okay, so now I just wanted to jump on my computer here and show you some of the things that we can actually cover in our sessions, just so that you can gauge whether or not this is a service that you would be interested in. Okay, so this is what we can cover in our sessions, and I've broken it down into 6 main areas and things that we can cover in Unlock the Keyboard. Let's take a look at the fundamentals first. Technique, right? This is like the most important thing. I think technique and really having a strong foundation on the piano and the keyboard is absolutely crucial, right? So we can talk about, different chords, chord voicings, chord extensions, if that's what you wanted to look at, how to make your chords sound real juicy, real spicy, things like that, right? Finger speed and strength, that's critical. Like, we can look at different exercises to really develop your dexterity, and so that you can maneuver across the keyboard in a fluent and free manner, right? The same goes for dynamics, so having a good dynamic control, and this is where you can really make your playing sound musical, right? Arpeggios, hand independence, and scales, these are three of what I consider the basics, and we can look at how to really develop these and really make them quite strong. Hand shapes, fingerings, right? So this is like how you can maneuver across the keyboard and maneuver through different keys in a really natural manner, and if you have the right hand shapes, you can unlock so many different chords and ways of playing. It's quite amazing. Okay, the next pillar is different styles. So I've made a list here of some of the styles that we can cover, and one of the main reasons why I like to cover different styles is that each different style has its own rhythmic language, right? So you take a look at jazz, and you take a look at funk, and you take a look at Latin, for example. These all have their own way of playing in terms of the rhythm, right? And so if we look at these different styles, we can really start to develop our rhythmic playing, and that is really crucial, and that is how you can make your playing sound very musical, in fact. The next pillar is musicality. So you could have the most amazing technique, but how are we gonna make it sound musical, right? So we can look at rhythm, what we've already talked about. We can look at harmony, so different chords and chord progressions. We can look at melody, so how to actually make your melody really stand out and how to tell a story through your melody. Transposition, learn all 12 keys. I'm really big on playing things in all 12 keys and developing a proficiency in all of the 12 keys. That's really important. Improvisation, how free do you feel on the keyboard? Can you sit down and just freely express yourself? This is huge, and I'm really big on this. Groove and feel, how to make it sound real funky and groovy, right? That goes down to rhythm a lot of the time, but it's also about developing your own style and your own voice as a musician. Phrasing, developing your ear, so ear training, that's really very important actually. Performing, how to deliver a very strong performance and make people feel something from your music. Music theory, that's huge, theory is definitely something we can cover, and if you understand theory, you can really start to understand how music works, and you can start to make your own music and make your music sound good. The next pillar is creativity. This is all about becoming a creative person through the piano and the keyboard. Composing original music, this is huge. This is something that I'm really passionate about because I've been composing music pretty much since I started, and I think it's such an important way, it's such an important vessel for actually really improving as a piano player. Producing music, this is another big one, right? So how to actually use DAW softwares, how to get started producing your own music and how to make it sound good. Arranging, so this is all about taking a song that you really like, maybe a pop song, and arranging it in your own unique way. Recording, developing your own style. Emotional expression, how to actually emote with your music, how to convey different emotions with what you're playing. Songwriting and storytelling, collaborating, how to actually work with other people and other musicians. That's really huge. Okay, the next pillar is artistic development. So maybe you're a little bit along in your piano or keyboard journey, and you want to start like building a brand and creating content. I've been growing a YouTube channel for several years now, so I can definitely speak and help you on how to actually get started making content around music. We can talk about networking and collaborations again. We can talk about creating a plan and a vision for your future as a musician. Do you know where you're heading? Do you know who you want to sound like? These are all very important questions to answer so that we can really start to head in the right direction. Finding your purpose as an artist, strengthening your creative practice. So do you have a creative practice? Are you disciplined around your creative practice? All of these things, how to be more creative, things like that, right? And the last pillar is personal development. And I really feel like this is something that isn't spoken about enough in the piano and the music education space in general, right? Because to improve in your playing, you have to be consistent and you have to be disciplined to practice. But that's easier said than done, right? It's not easy to develop your discipline and your consistency and your focus. And these are areas where I've really focused on, right? Because I've understood that to get better, you have to show up regularly, right? So if we can focus on developing our discipline, consistency, and our focus when we're actually sitting down and practicing, this is where we're really going to see massive improvements. So I can definitely help you with these things. Also, habit building, daily practice, same thing, right? Strategic thinking, how to think strategically about what to practice, how to practice, and where you're heading as a musician. Mental health, this is really big. Creating a practice schedule and effective practice. Yeah, so it's basically the field of personal development, but it's more through the lens of practicing the piano and the keyboard. Okay, so those are the 6 pillars and the things that we can cover in our sessions. Now, I just wanted to briefly touch on what I mean when I say keyboard coach. So the way I see coach is it's more of a holistic approach to improvement. It's not about being a piano teacher and like, you know, we're gonna go over some things every week, and it's not like that, right? It's definitely a more of a holistic approach, so we can look at all of the 6 pillars. You know, I want to help you unlock your creative, artistic, and personal potential through the keyboard, right? We're gonna target your weaknesses, so wherever you're weak, we're gonna target those things and really make improvements on those areas. It's a bespoke service, so basically I'm going to tailor the sessions to exactly what you need, and we're gonna work on the areas of improvement that you need to work on the most, right? Yeah, and there's just a broader range of things that we can cover. So like if you want me to give you a tutorial of a song that you want to learn, we can do that. If you want me to critique your original music, or maybe have a guided composition session or something like that, there's a lot of different things that we can cover, and we can talk about this in our sessions. And lastly, I just wanted to say that online lessons are OP, okay? So I wanted to show you the interface of what it will look like during our sessions. Okay, this is the interface of Unlock the Keyboard, and as you can see, I've got my top-down camera here which looks directly on the piano, so you can see exactly where my fingers and my hands are placed, and we've got this keyboard up here which lights up with the notes that I play, so that you can see exactly what I'm playing. And we've also got this chord name here, so it basically tells you exactly the chords that I'm playing, which is pretty helpful. And of course you can see me here on the screen as well. And so this is basically the interface, and on Zoom I can actually record the lessons, which means that I can record them and you can go over them later, whereas in person you can't really do that. So there's so many different benefits to, you know, online lessons. Also, you can sit in the comfort of your room, in the comfort of your home, and that's pretty chill as well. Okay, so that's pretty much what we can cover in our sessions and what the interface looks like. Now, the whole package is a 12-week program, and as I said earlier, I'm offering the first 2 sessions completely for free, just to see whether or not Unlock the Keyboard is a right fit for you. There'll be a link below to my calendar where you can book your first free session. Hopefully there's a suitable time down there for you. Also, I have an online community called Unlock the Keyboard. It's on school.com. I'll also link that below, and this is a great place where we can actually stay in touch. There's a chat feature there so we can stay updated, and there's other students in there who are also keen on learning the piano and progressing as a keyboard player. Great, that's pretty much everything. I'm really excited to meet you and start to tackle some of your goals and look at some of the weak areas in your playing and help you unlock the keyboard. Awesome, I'll see you on the other side.